and 8,000 lines, Reba. A humble revision of the wonderful achievement of the late Dr. Edward Conze, now of the 21st century. By Richard Babcock. Chapter 2. Sakra. 1. Preamble. At this time, many gods are coming to the assembly and taking their seats, Sakra, chief of gods, with 40,000 gods of the 33, the four world guardians, with 20,000 gods belonging to the retinue of the four great kings, Brahma, ruler of this world system, with 10,000 gods belonging to the company of Brahma, and 5,000 gods of the Pure Abode. And yet, the might of the Buddha with his majesty and authority surpasses even the splendor of these gods, a reward for the deeds these have done here, even in this past. Sakra, these many thousands of gods, Subhuti, have come to this assembly, and taken seats, as we want to hear about perfect wisdom from the Holy Subhuti, and to listen to his advice to the Bodhisattvas, to his instruction and admonition how these Bodhisattvas stand in perfect wisdom, how train in it, how one devotes oneself to it. Subhuti, let me now explain it to you, through the Buddha's might, majesty and authority. The gods, not yet aspiring to full enlightenment, should do so. Any, however, being certain to have got safely out of this world, i.e., the arhats having reached their last birth, and thinking to have done with it all, are unfit for full enlightenment, as these are not willing to go, from compassion, back into birth and death. And why? The flood of birth and death hems these ones in. Incapable of repeated rebirths, these ones are unable to aspire to full enlightenment. And yet, these may still aspire to full enlightenment, and I confirm such as these also. I do not obstruct their wholesome route. For one should uphold distinguished dharmas above all others. The Lord, well said, Subhuti. You well encourage Bodhisattvas. Subhuti now says to the Lord, we are grateful to the Lord, and not ungrateful. For the Lord, in presence of Tathagatas, leads for our sake the holy life with enlightenment as his view. Even as he definitely develops Bodhisattva realization, as being dedicated to a thought of enlightenment, disciples still instruct and admonish him in these perfections, and by his coursing herein is revealing utmost cognition, to and for beneficence of unlimited beings. So also do we help, champion, aid and sustain Bodhisattvas, as these Bodhisattvas we help, champion, aid and sustain, soon come to know full enlightenment. 2. How to stand in emptiness, or the perfection of wisdom. So, now Subhuti says to Sakra, listen now, Kausika, and attend well as I teach you how a Bodhisattva stands in perfect wisdom. Through standing in emptiness, one stands in perfection of wisdom. Armed with great armor, the Bodhisattva thus develops so one does not take one's stand on any of these, not on form, feeling, perception, impulses, consciousness, not on eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, not on forms, sounds, smells, tastes, touchables, mind objects, not on eye consciousness, etc., until we come to, not on mind consciousness, etc., until we come to, not on the elements, i.e., earth, water, fire, wind, ether, consciousness, not on the pillars of mindfulness, right efforts. Roads to psychic power, faculties, powers, limbs of enlightenment, limbs of the path, not on the fruits of stream winner, once returner, never returner, or arhatship, not on pratikabuddahood, nor on Buddhahood. One does not take one's stand on the idea, this is form, this is feeling, etc., to, this is Buddhahood. One does not take one's stand on any ideas like form, feeling, perception, impulse, or consciousness, is permanent, or impermanent I form, etc., is ease or ill a form, etc., is self, or not self, form, etc., is lovely or repulsive, or even that of form, etc., is empty, or apprehended as something. One does not take one's stand on any notion such as the fruits of the holy life derive their dignity from something called unconditioned. Or this, a stream winner is worthy of gifts, and will be reborn 7 times at the most. Or, a once returner is worthy of gifts and, as one has not yet quite realized through to any end, one makes an end of ill after one has once more come into this world. Or, a never returner is worthy of gifts and, without once more returning to this world, realizes nirvana elsewhere. Or, an arhat is worthy of gifts and just here in this very existence will win nirvana in the realm of nirvana leaving nothing behind. Or, a pratyabhadita is worthy of gifts and will win nirvana after rising above the level of a disciple, but without having attained any level of a Buddha. Or even, a Buddha is worthy of gifts, and will win nirvana in the Buddha nirvana? In the realm of nirvana, leaving nothing behind, once one rises above the levels of a common being, of a disciple, and of a pratyabhadita, rots the wheel of countless beings, leads to nirvana countless hundreds of thousands of nayutas of kodis of beings, assures countless beings of discipleship. Pratikabhadahood and full Buddhahood is standing, ! On the stage of a Buddha and does a Buddha's work, even now. On this a Bodhisattva does not take one's stand. Hereupon the Venerable Sariputra thought to himself, if even hereupon this one does not take one's stand, how does one stand, and train oneself? The Venerable Subhuti, through the Buddha's might, read his thoughts and said, what do you think, Sariputra, where does Tathagata stand? Sariputra, nowhere does Tathagata stand. A Tathagata mind neither seeks nor relies upon support. One such as these stand neither in what is conditioned, nor in what is unconditioned, nor do these emerge from such. Subhuti, even so a Bodhisattva stands and trains oneself. One decides this, as the Tathagata does not stand anywhere, nor stand apart, nor not stand apart, so also I stand. Just so one trains oneself, as Tathagata is stationed, so also I stand, and train myself. Just so one trains oneself, as the Tathagata is stationed, so do I stand, well in place as without a place to stand upon. Even so Sariputra, a Bodhisattva stands and trains oneself. As one trains thus, one adjusts oneself to perfection of wisdom and never ceases from taking it to heart.